We get this email, and she's wondering, is she being disrespectful by making friends with a dude while she's already in a relationship? Kristen has the email.
I do, because I proofread it like 10 times to cut it down. She's very sweet, but she's very wordy. All right. Hi, Bert Show. I've never written into the show before, but I need y'all's help with the dating situation. A few days ago at the park, I was approached and asked out by a guy. This might seem like a frequent occurrence to some women, but this has pretty much never happened before and certainly hasn't happened in the almost 3 years I've been dating my boyfriend. We were walking opposite ways on a trail, so we were passing each other about every half mile. And we both do that little awkward smile wave that you do when you pass somebody when you're hiking. The third time we passed each other, he stopped and he asked for my name. And then he introduced himself and asked the classic line, "Do you come here often?" I told him I just started coming back, but I used to play soccer at the park. And he said he also used to play soccer at the park here.
Oh my God, you're so connected.
Then he finally asked me, "Would you want to hang out sometime?" I hesitated and told him that I have a boyfriend, and he was very respectful about it, and we went our separate ways. Afterwards, I told my boyfriend, and he was glad I turned him down, which is the reaction I expected. When I told my parents, they said it would be fine to hang out, since he asked me to hang out and didn't use the words, "go on a date."
Oh, your parents don't like your boyfriend.
Yeah, clearly.
I know that.
that line threw me for a loop. They thought maybe he just wanted to make a friend after finding out we had soccer in common.
Yeah, I bet.
It's hard because the guy was very genuine and nice, and I'm sure it took a lot of courage to talk to me.
It's a trap.
It would have been easier to reject and move on if he was a D-bag creep and if he was unattractive. The combination of him finding me as attractive as I am naturally, him shooting a shot organically at a park, and this being the first time someone approached me in public made me feel extremely flattered. Now, just for some context, my boyfriend and I met through mutual friends, been dating since our senior year of high school. Now we're both college students living at home, commuting to school. So I don't have friends to hang out with besides him, and it's hard to make friends at school. So I've been looking for ways to make more friends.
Absolutely not.
My dilemma is that my curiosity is getting the best of me. I was so caught up in this romance movie-like moment that I forgot his name. I feel like a bad girlfriend because I'm hoping to run into him again, to talk to him, to at least get a sense of who he is. I haven't been faced with temptation like this during our relationship before. We're kind of having a dry spell. We're very comfortable with each other, so there's obviously less of a spark than when we first got together. I feel like my boyfriend would not take it well if I told him I just wanted to be friends with this guy and walk with him at the park.
You think?
He trusts me, but he thinks the guy has other intentions.
Duh.
I don't know what to do and feel like I'm not being loyal to my boyfriend for feeling this way, and I love him very much. Is it okay to just walk with this dude at the park if I am honest and communicative with boundaries? Am I overthinking this? What do I do?
So something like this happened to me. I had met somebody, just chatted out in public. We found out we had tennis in common. He's like, "Oh, we should play a game." And I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds amazing." I went home and told Chad, my boyfriend, and he goes, "That guy is trying to date you." And I was like, "No, he's not. We're just playing tennis." And he goes, "Cassie." And so I immediately texted the dude and I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I got the wrong idea. I have a boyfriend. I'm good." And just dropped it like, "Oh, I'm an idiot. I didn't notice." My issue with this is that she's excited to see this guy again. And I think that's where it starts to be like, do you really just want to be friends? Like, if this were a girl, would you be as excited to see her again? And I think that's where you got to stop and ask yourself, because I think guys and girls can be friends. And it can be totally platonic if both people are on board, and it doesn't sound like you're on board, especially if you've been going through a dry spell.
Well, you've said that you don't think that men and women can be totally friends if one thinks the other one is attractive.
I think it's rare. I think it's very, very rare. I mean, it happens, but most of the time I do believe that one person is attracted to the other. And just a PSA for ladies, I personally have never known a man in my life that walked around looking at women and going, "She looks like she'd make a really good friend." That's not a thing.
No, it is not.
It does not happen. So
Bert, thank God we find each other repulsive. We're good to go.
Yay! You're so ugly.
You're so ugly.
Thank you.
Friends for life.
Forever.
cheers to the ugly.
So wholesome.
Yeah, it's wrong. It's completely wrong, and that's the reason she doesn't want to tell her boyfriend.
Yeah, I had to explain this to my parents too, because they're like, "Well, why don't you just go out on dates with boys and maybe at the very least you can be friends with them?" And I'm like, yeah, a guy has always taken over being rejected sexually well and wanted to be friends with the girl after. So I think because you have a crush on this guy, because that's what it sounds like, I think you got to hold back.
Look, when you When you sacrifice your values or you end up in an affair or in a situation you're not supposed to end up in, it starts with the first decision. The first choice, okay? So here's the first choice right here, okay? If you don't do anything with it, you're safe. Everything's fine. You are about to make a decision that is going to put you in a very bad situation. And this will be the first of many if you end up going out with this guy. But you can stop it right now.
No, she's going to go to Amazon and get those like workout pants that go up the butt crack. And then she's going to go walking in that park on that trail again. Strutting her stuff.
The Bert Show.